Hi folks, let me give you some facts. Supplementation is the rage. The key is which product really works. Some supplements have ingredients that are just fillers, not life-change tea. For instance, our D365 detox pill is all natural, no fillers, and packs you a punch. This powerful pill will build your immune system, detoxify your body, and give you more energy. We also carry colostrum LD pills, which gives athletes an edge, 20% more lean muscle strength, stamina, and performance. And by the way, it's clinically proven. Get detoxed, get strong at getthetea.com.
Successful defensively, IBF Featherweight Championship, great fighter, Eric Hunter, coming off the floor to show plenty of heart, plenty of skill. Still champion in the world. Fire away with your questions.
Was that hard? No, I knew he was a very good fighter. I think the British public might have underestimated him, but I did my research and I knew he was a good fighter. Coming out of Philadelphia, he comes from a good gym, Danny Garcia's gym, so he was well scored. It was the fight I expected.
What do you remember about left hook?
Pardon?
What do you remember about the left hook?
What left hook? I was embarrassed more than anything. And to be honest, in the dressing room I didn't really get enough time to warm up. They called us to go, we had to go as soon as I got my gloves on. But he caught me with a good shot. I watched it back. I was sort of in a clinch as I fall back, doing it the wrong way. Chris always teaches me. He clipped me. It was a good shot. I wasn't hurt at all. Found straight back up and got on with the job. Well, I was more embarrassed than anything because I got pride over how tough I am and how good my chin is. So I was just embarrassed.
That's the first time you've been down pro or amateur.
Never, on the last hopefully. Down on the floor looking up, it's not a nice view, man. I don't want to see it again.
What do you make the way the sort of crowd reactions and seeing like them all behind you?
Yeah, they were behind me. Yeah. Last time I boxed, I was out in America. It was early hours in the morning over here, so they didn't really get to see me fight. So going back here to the O2, I boxed many times before on the undercards of Anthony Joshua. I think I boxed when he had his debut, and now we both here fighting for world titles. It's great to be a part of it.
Lee, what did you think of the extent to which he was moaning?
Who?
Hunter. Throughout the fight, constantly moaning at the ref.
I didn't think that he was a bit like a spoiled kid after the fight as well. He stormed off.
Do you gain any confidence from that when he's clearly kind of unravelling and the ref's constantly talking to him? Does that? Do you gain any confidence from that when you see?
Yeah, because you can see he was being unsettled, and it was like throwing him off his game a bit.
Who would you like to fight next?
I'll fight anybody. I leave that to my team to sort out. Being a boxer, you got to be stupid to get in the ring. So I'm stupid enough to fight anybody. So I leave the guys with the brains to sort out the moment.
There's been talk of Frampton mentioned calling your name out. Is that a fight you'd like to have?
I'll fight anybody. I'll fight Frampton next week. Whoever wants it. I just leave it with the team to sort out.
You've got opportunities over here, but also in America. Would you prefer to be boxing over here, or?
Again, I don't mind where I fight. I'll fight anybody, anywhere. There's a lot of great champions who have been calling me out and mentioning my name. I'll take them any offer.
Can you answer that, Eddie, and just let us know?
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, look, I think when he boxed in Arizona, he wasn't quite feeling the same buzz as when he boxed here. But now he's boxed here. I think collectively, Jamie and Chris and me and Eamon, and he's got options to do whatever he wants. There's a lot of talk about the Josh Warrington fight. I think it's a good fight for British boxing. He's got his own tough fight next week against Amagassa. Carl Frampton's calling his name. You've got some great titleists there as well. Lomachenko, Gary Russell's fighting Patrick Hyland next week on Stephen Smith card. So I think it's completely up to him and Chris and Jamie to which route they want to take. I think they've got 4 or 5 options. I think it's really down to where Lee sees himself, being based. If he wants to chase big fights in America, he's got that option. If he wants to go in Cardiff, I'd still like to see him go back to Cardiff personally. He's won the world title, and the reception he got down in Barry was great, and the reception tonight was fantastic as well. People genuinely excited to see him box here again, and I think to do it in his hometown or close to would be nice. But you know, the options for him are endless, and I think now he's had 2 defences of his belt. He's cleared the mandatory. He's in a great position. He can do whatever he wants.
Given the history that you had with Frampton and Quigg, how hard would that fight be?
Pretty straightforward. I mean, I think their options are really quite limited at the moment. You know, they're talking to Santa Cruz, but I can't see how the numbers are going to make sense for that fight. They've even got to fight Shingo Wake for the IBF. They've been stripped of the WBA title. I know he's tight at Super Bantam. Frampton against Lee Selby is a great fight. You know,
Jamie, Chris, what's your feeling about, you know, obviously you manage Lee and you make decisions as well. What are your feelings about next move?
Well, firstly, I'd just like to say it was a great learning fight. You know, we've all seen Lee Selby on top. Now everybody knows when things go wrong, he can still come through it. He went on the floor. Prior to this, I kept telling him about what you have to do when you go on the floor, and he used to say, I'll never go down, I'll never go down. And I used to try and say to him, I said, listen, Muhammad Ali went on the floor. I said, if you get caught correctly, you're on the floor. I said, you have to learn. And so he's just learning and growing in stature every fight. It was a great experience out in America. Again, things didn't go all his own way, and he learned by it. Tonight, you know, he learned again against a very tricky boxer, you know, very skillful. You know, he was a bit spoiled and he's quite an enigma really, because he was a spoiled brat and had plenty of rabbit, but he was very tough as well, and he had a great chin, and he didn't give up. You know, so it's quite odd, you know, because normally, you know, when they're spoiled, when the going gets tough, they get going. But you know, tonight I think you've seen a lot of good things, and again we're just keeping and going and improving. As regards who he's going to fight next, the problem is there are so many options. Naturally, with Carl Frampton, we're not going to have the problems like with Quigg and Frampton, because we get on very well with the McGuigans, you know. So we're not going to have that animosity, and as long as the numbers are right, then you know that's a big possibility. You know, Eddie's put forward Josh Warrington, so again, you know, that can happen. And in my eyes, I think maybe that could be the fight. I like the thought of going up to Leeds, Ellen Road, the animosity, and Lee Selby getting used to that again, you know, because they may mean we might have to go to Belfast. We've been to Belfast once before, but you know, next time with Frampton, I think that would be different. So going to Ellen Road, you know, is a big possibility. And likewise, like Eddie said about Cardiff, you know, we'd like to go at the Millennium and follow Joe Calzaghe, you know.
Is that Ellen Road fight a potential summer fight you're looking at then?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Josh goes next week, so it gives him a small window, and you're looking really realistically at July and August. And I've spoke to Josh and Steve Wood, who both fancy the fight, but they have got sort of one eye on Amagassa as well at the same time. So as soon as that fight's out of the way, we can see if they genuinely want the fight.
Is this headline then at Ellen Road?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Leeds United keen?
Yeah, very keen. I mean, look, Josh does good numbers. You know, and this is a different level. We're doing 8,000 or 9,000 at the FD Arena, but we're talking about 30,000, 40,000. But I feel like it's the kind of city, and you know, that performance tonight from there. I felt like since the Gradovich win, you know, Lee's profile, because he boxed in America, hasn't been as big. Now he's bounced right back with a good performance in front of a big audience. Now his UK profile's bubbling, and it was on Showtime as well. In America, they chose his fight. So great news. He's really killed 2 birds with 1 stone tonight. He's kept bubbling in the US, and he's got his US profile bouncing, UK bouncing. So again, if he fancies a little trip up to Leeds next week, we'll stick him on the other side, because they do like throwing punts, don't they, from the top.
Does the timing of the Olympics have any bearing on whether you'll do big fights here?
Yeah,
5th and
sure.
22nd of August.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, same with Asia.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later, but I think the summer fights really have to be mid early July or end of August, September.
Yeah.
I think end of August, early September is still an option. But you know, Lee's had 12 good rounds tonight. Hands look alright.
Fine.
But, you know,
I'm good to go.
I mean, he's only boxed twice in a year, so I'm sure he wants to get out sometime.
Do you think, Chris, that Lee's abilities and what he's achieved is being underrated and understated in this country?
I think especially with Montiel, he was a 3 times former champion, and he was as solid as a rock. And, I just feel that people, because of the way that he beat Brunker and beat Bradovic, it was as though, that Lee Selby had a right to just go and breeze through everybody. But, that isn't the way. And, it was hard graft against Montiel. It was hard graft tonight. And, and it may be that Lee Selby has those sort of fights, that now that they will be hard graft. But likewise, he never, apart from when I suppose he was on the floor, he never looks like he's going to get beat. He sort of wins by a country mile. And so, we're just very pleased. Again, he's learning, and he's got to pull out with his chin down.
Thank you.
Was that the trickiest fight you've had?
Probably not. I think the Montiel fight was a bit more tricky. He used his experience well. He's very good. Well, he was an elite fighter instead. 3-time world champion. To be a world champion, you've got to be a good fighter. 2 times, you're a great fighter. You're elite if you win 3 world titles. So I think I agree with Chris. I didn't get the credit I deserve.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
If you guys haven't already done so, make sure you download the Behind the Gloves app. It's free, and it features really cool stuff like a fight calendar that reminds you of all the upcoming fights, and it allows for you to, with one click, to remind yourself directly to your phone. And it also features 24/7 breaking news that's going on in boxing. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that and subscribe to this channel.